What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Ethereum today. It is the 12th day of January, and here we are sitting at about $3,122 with about 7 hours and 11 minutes left in the day. 7-11, baby. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Let's get into it. Ethereum, to me, clearly looks like it's in some type of a wedge pattern, a pennant pattern, whatever you want to call it. A symmetrical triangle, I believe, is the traditional term for what we're seeing here. This symmetrical triangle. We're in a few different patterns, actually, and this is why I love TAs, because there's so many different ways that you can skin this, right? This is a rather neutral pattern, okay? Symmetrical triangles in themselves are inherently neutral patterns, and typically, with a symmetrical triangle, typically you expect to go down, or you continue the price action at which brought you into this pattern, typically. Not always. It's like maybe 60% of the time, or even like 55% of the time, right? It's not like a huge edge, but technically, statistically speaking, that's the thought. Besides this pennant pattern or symmetrical triangle, whatever you want to call it, there's also this W shape here, and W's are very consistent with a pattern that's known as Adam and Eve, or Eve and Eve, or Adam and Adam patterns, whatever it might be. This, to me, does look like an Adam with the V and a U here, the Eve. It looks like an Adam and Eve pattern. Adam and Eve patterns are very bullish. W patterns are very bullish. Symmetrical triangles are more or less neutral. I think there's some bullish implications here, you guys. The expectation is that when we see prices above this high, we should more or less teleport to prices that are all the way up at about, something around $4,200 or higher. 42, 45, something like that. Once we get above about $3,500, we're going to teleport about $1,000 higher. It is possible that we fall a little bit short. It is possible that we stop at the golden ratio zone. I don't think we stop here. Maybe for a moment, but I really do believe that we will continue up to this $4,300, $4,600 area, something kind of in the 786, 886. That's my expectation. I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, $3,900, $4,000. That's the area that we'd find resistance at, where we found turbulence before, where we found support before, where we found support before, where we found resistance before. Back here, it makes sense that we could stop at this area. Either way, that's great. Either way, that's phenomenal, and Ethereum will certainly take on a more bullish structure if even if we do stop right here. We'd have higher highs and higher lows at that point. Anyways, that's actually kind of nice, drawing it that way. Anyways, looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, zooming in, we'll zoom back out to the daily stuff in a second. The 1 hour time frame, we're seeing a little bit of volatility, some boring price action over Saturday to Sunday, right? Over the weekend, it's pretty damn boring. Getting a little bit of volatility now, and I think that's largely because of Bitcoin and probably the stock markets as well. What's the stock market doing? What are we doing with the stock market? Cool, we're moving up. I would assume so. Everybody in the media is talking about this impending drop that's going to happen in the stock markets, so that very much makes me think we're going to continue to move up. I was hearing a guy talk yesterday, I don't remember if it was a YouTube channel or if he was like on CNN, but he talked about this impending stock market crash as if it's programmed already, as if it's something that's going to happen very, very soon, and everybody's waiting on it. Like that was literally the word he said. Everybody's waiting on it. We all know it's going to come. And I'm like, if everybody knows it's going to come, that means they're on the sidelines. Why are people invested in the stock market if everybody thinks that the stocks are going to crash? And if everybody's on the sidelines, that means there's no sellers left. There's only buyers left. So I take the perspective that if the average person out there, and it seems that the average person out there does think that the stock market's about to crash, well, we're probably not going to. And I actually see more reasons that we grow over the months and weeks to come with the stock market than to crash, but I digress. What's good for stocks are probably good for crypto as well. If the stock market was crashing, crypto would probably not have a good time. Probably. Anything can happen, but I digress. Looking at the 1 hour indicators here, the RSI does have lower lows. We do have lower lows in our price as well. Lower highs as well. We kind of are in a downtrend. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Maybe we do consolidate a little bit more. Maybe we even go just below these levels. We've seen this happen a lot lately, where you'll find a level of support. Whatever crypto it is, your crypto of choice will break just below that support, and then you move up. So if we were to go back down to $3,000 or even just below $3,000, I wouldn't be worried about the price. I'm not calling for that. That's not my expectation. I think these lows hold. I think this was your fake out attempt here. I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, if we go below 3,000, cool. Buying opportunity. The only reason I'm saying this is because the RSI gives me slightly bearish vibes here. But it's more neutral, and it is overall bullish. We look at the stochastics, definitely in a bullish posturing there. The MACD's back at the 0, bullish posturing there as well. We look at the 4-hour time frame, very bullish, bouncing off the 50 after rejecting the overbought zone. We like this environment to be in. Getting overbought, not getting oversold, living predominantly above the 50. You look very good here. Finding support here at prior resistance, at psychological support at $3,000, but finding resistance here where you're now finding support is great. Low to high here. Finding support just below the 382. It's pretty common, pretty normal to do. Should I take that fib or should I move it to this low here? Kind of near the golden ratio. I think this fib makes more sense, but whatever. Maybe this fib will make more sense. This one probably will make more sense. High to low. All the way up to the 786. You know, it's actually pretty common. Whenever you run all the way up like this to the through the golden ratio, typically what you do is you stop at the golden ratio on the first attempt. It's not common to go above it on the first attempt, but if you do, and what I say by first attempt, right, high to low here, from this low, we have not interacted with the golden ratio until here. Here's your first attempt. It's very common on your first attempt to find resistance here and come back to this zone. Whenever you break through your golden ratio on the first attempt like we did here, it's very common to come back to the 382-236 area if you hit the 786. So holding support here, it's kind of uncommon in itself. We're already doing things that are uncommon, but again, just the idea kind of reinforced that if we were to go below these lows, it's a buying opportunity. It's 100% a buying. I mean, we go below $3,000, you guys. It's the best buying opportunity ever. We probably don't go below $29.25. Okay. And again, I'm not calling for that. That's just if I'm wrong. If we don't move up from here, and I'm wrong, I would be wrong. I wouldn't be saying I told you it would go down here. We're just considering it as a possibility. This would be what that looks like if I'm wrong. But if I'm right, we should be moving up. We've already interacted with the golden ratio once. We should be moving up to the 786, 886 area and beyond. We've already interacted with the 786. We should be breaking out, and then that 1272 to 1618 area would be the next kind of target zone, $3,700 to $4,000. And being that we're on the 4-hour, this is kind of a small fib. It's very common to go past your primary target zone and interact with your secondary target zone. So something between $4,200, $5,000. That's also possible. But we'll first be looking at this $4,000 to $3,700 zone. I still believe that we will go higher. It's just you're not going to see prices above $4,000 like this. There's going to be stair stepping that takes place, right? That's what's going to happen. So let's see. We already went over the RSI. The RSI looks bullish, right? Stochastics are bullish. And the MACD is about to cross above the 0. That's also bullish. You have a very deep drive of bearish momentum here. One of the deeper drives we've seen, really, across the months, the most recent months. And you didn't really get much to the downside. It's a higher low in the price with a lower low in the indicators. That's hidden bullish divergence there. You have the same thing with the RSI. Kind of. I guess you don't have it with the stochastics, but that's okay. You don't really look for that on the stochastics. Bullish. You look very bullish. Daily time frame, bouncing off the 50. Things just look more and more bullish the more we zoom out here. So in the short term, if we see some turbulence, that's fine. In the long term, even in the midterm, we're going to prevail. Bouncing off the 50 is nice. Higher lows are good. Higher highs are great. We're probably going to get into the overbought zone, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a deeper reading than this. So the real move is about to come, right? Whenever we found resistance here, this was the move that we got. The next move, whenever we get overbought, I think will break us out of this zone entirely. It'll come with a breakout of that symmetrical triangle, and that should take us, I think, all the way up. I mean, technically, I think the way to measure a measure move from a symmetrical triangle is you take the low to the high of the pattern, and you put it at the breakout, which would be like somewhere around here, right, if we were to break out. That should take us up to $4,400, which, again, from a high to a low, would take us to the 786, 886 area. And again, it's not going to be like this. We're not going to move up in one fell swoop. It might feel like that. There will be turbulence along the way, and we'll work our way up there. I mean, it could be mid-February that we're at 4,300 to 4,600. Maybe it's by the end of the month. I don't know. But I do think that that's our next kind of area to focus on. 38, 39, $4,000 also might be something to consider. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Very bullish implications on the charts. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.